This podcast serves Middle Tennessee every weekday morning, and it's made possible by member support. Learn how you can make a difference at wpln.org/support.
This is the Nashvillager podcast. It's February 26th, 2026. On this day in 1890, Nashville's various streetcar lines merged to become the United Electric Railway. I'm LaTanya Turner, in for Nina Cardona, and this is your daily digest of what's happening around Middle Tennessee, with some historical context from Nashville Public Radio, WPLN News. In the 19th century, electric streetcars were the transit of choice, and in Nashville, streetcars had sprung up piecemeal, run by a handful of independent operators who created their own lines in various parts of the city. After a few years of that confusion, the firms joined together to form the United Electric Railway. That allowed customers to finally be able to ride from any point in the city to any other streetcar stop on a single fare. At the time, the public transit in Nashville was said to be among the finest in the nation. Coming up, what are the chances for Major League Baseball in Nashville? We'll find out in just a few minutes after the newscast.
You know how important WPLN News has been to you and your family, and you have seen how high-quality local journalism is necessary to a thriving community. You can ensure that this service stays strong and stays available to all of Nashville and Middle Tennessee. Join the Producers Circle with your gift of $100 or more each month and make the bold statement that you support the mission of a more informed and engaged community. Start your philanthropic journey with Nashville Public Radio today at WPLN.org.
Here's the latest from WPLN News. The Boring Company is ready to start digging underneath Nashville. Days after the company met publicly with city officials for the first time, the company was cleared for construction by state and federal agencies. WPLN's Caroline Eggers reports.
The Boring Company plans to build parallel, one-way tunnels between downtown and the airport, with possible extensions to West End Avenue in Midtown. Each route is located primarily underneath state-owned highways and does not currently need approval from Nashville's Metro Council. The company just met with those city officials for the first time publicly and faced a lot of criticism for avoiding questions about the local geology, safety, and even the usefulness of the tunnel for Nashville residents. The Boring Company also did not disclose just how close they were to construction. Vice President David Buss indicated last week that he was unclear how many permits were still needed.
I don't have the full list in front of me of what permits are out there. I believe we secured 37 and we have 5 remaining.
But this week, the Tennessee Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration approved a joint lease and permit for the company. And Wednesday, Governor Bill Lee's office said that Boring can now begin digging the tunnel. Caroline Eggers, WPLN News.
Nashville's oldest restaurant is closed. On the door of Varallo's hangs a white piece of paper with the handwritten words, "Closed. Sorry." The sign has been there all week. A Google search lists the beloved restaurant as permanently closed. In a phone call, current owner Bob Peabody confirmed it. Varallo's opened in 1907 and had been at their location on 4th Avenue for more than 100 years. They specialized in chili, 3-way chili with beans and spaghetti served on a tamale. Its distinctive red triangular pediment and red and white checker tablecloths made the restaurant stand out as part of the arcade downtown. Peabody says that Varallo's could not keep up with rising prices in downtown Nashville.
The rents have gone up a lot. And then property taxes have gone up a lot. Tried to see if we could get a lease, if we could sell it to new owners, and just didn't see any path forward.
Peabody says that rent could go up almost 3 times if sold to a new owner. The head of the group overseeing the transformation of Nashville's East Bank development is stepping down. The chair, attorney Emily Lamb, has been tapped by the mayor to lead Metro's Codes Department. The Nashville Banner reports Mona Hodge will replace Lamb as head of the East Bank Development Authority. Hodge is a current member of the body and a principal at an architecture firm. And civil rights attorney Tricia Hertzfeld will fill the vacancy on the board. Addressing the nation as part of his State of the Union speech Tuesday night, President Donald Trump praised the Memphis Safe Task Force. Republican Governor Bill Lee is hoping to expand the task force with a greater presence of state troopers in the city. WPLN's Mariana Bacallao reports that at the same time, the Tennessee Highway Patrol is facing questions of racial profiling and dehumanizing treatment of Nashville's immigrant community.
Newly released body camera footage from immigration raids last May shows that pairs of Tennessee state troopers and ICE agents competed to see who could make the most arrests, often marking the people they arrested with a number to show which team had made the arrest. Here's one officer joking about marking an arrest for Team 6.
We got to give them the mark of the beast, Team 6.
Officers in the body cam footage also referred to the arrests as hunting. Democratic Senator Heidi Campbell questioned officials over their knowledge of the competition.
Can you confirm whether this competition was formally sanctioned by THP leadership, informally encouraged, or whether leadership was unaware it was happening? And if leadership was unaware, what does that tell us about supervision and accountability structures within these joint operations?
Colonel Matt Perry said he was limited in what he could say because of ongoing litigation, but that state troopers only pull people over for traffic violations.
Troopers saying things and our cameras picking up ICE agents saying inappropriate things, we will handle that and address that. We expect higher of our people, but we were making probable cause traffic stops. There's no competition.
The Tennessee Highway Patrol is asking for $44 million to attract and retain talent. The budget advanced in the State House unanimously. Mariana Bacallao, WPLN News.
One of the state's largest health insurers is trying to get the word out. A lot of preventive services are free. Blue Cross Blue Shield covers more than 3 million Tennesseans, about half the state's population. Executives told the Tennessean newspaper that patient data shows people are not getting free care that's available. For example, kids' wellness checks are totally covered, but almost half of the children covered by BCBS are not getting the checkups. There's no out-of-pocket charge for mammograms or colorectal cancer screenings, both of which can be life-saving. But at least 1 in 4 adults are missing out on them. The executive said these kinds of appointments help doctors catch problems early when they're easier to treat or even cure. You'll find more news anytime at WPLN.org. Even though Nashville doesn't have a major league baseball team, it does have a team name. Leaders of the recruiting effort hope the story of that name will help lock down an expansion franchise in the next few years. Music City Baseball's marketing director, Will General, joined This Is Nashville host Blake Farmer to talk about the prospects for the major leagues here.
When I was a kid growing up here, we certainly had the Nashville Sounds back at Greer. Briefly had the Nashville Cats, arena football. Now we've got football, hockey, soccer. Is there room for Major League Baseball?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we are firm believers that there is plenty of opportunity for baseball. I mean, for football to be successful here, for hockey to be successful here, for soccer to be successful here, baseball is actually the easy one out of all of it. This is a baseball town and a baseball region. I mean, with Vandy right around the corner, with the University of Tennessee, I mean, SEC baseball across this entire region, baseball is the easy one. And I think the nice thing about baseball is it fills those dog days of summer that those other sports really aren't there. I mean, obviously Nashville SC plays during the summer, but it's a very sparse schedule compared to baseball playing 162 games in 185 days.
Yeah. Well, you're wearing a Nashville Stars hat with a very cool logo, and I honestly didn't know that folks working to bring a team here had already kind of decided that if they could, the intention was to give a nod to the Negro Leagues and the Nashville Stars who played here. You even have the president of the Negro League Museum as part of your board and the initiative. Who owns the Nashville Stars? Is that a thing you had to get permission to use?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting approach for an expansion or a relocation team to lean into brand and story this early on. But when you find a story that is that worth telling, it's worth investing in it. So, I mean, this hat that you see being worn here, we went on sale in March of 2025. We have sold in 50 states, 10 non-U.S. countries, over $100,000 of merchandise for a team that doesn't quite exist yet. So,
or did exist at some point.
Did exist, and we hope to bring back. The Nashville Stars were a Negro Leagues team. They played here in the 40s and the 50s. They played at Sulphur Dell, not too far away from where we are right now.
Which would be like just below the state capitol,
That's
right?
exactly right. Right in that location, right off Jefferson Street. So we actually found this story by going to the library and looking at microfilm and microfiche, and we found 2 photos of this team. One of them is 4 of the original players that were a part of that team wearing Nashville Stars jerseys. This is the second piece of photographic evidence we have. This is the original barnstorming bus. So for those of you that aren't familiar, I mean, these Negro League teams didn't always have a place to play, and they were regularly on the road trying to find a field, trying to find a team, oftentimes outside of a barn, going to play there. I mean, they were eating their meals on these buses. They were sleeping on these buses. I mean, there were lots of places they weren't allowed in at that time. So we found these 2 pieces of evidence, and we called Bob Kendrick, the president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, based in Kansas City. And we said, what do you know? And he really said, I don't know a whole lot more than you do, which is an interesting thing for a guy who knows everything about it.
Right.
So we went on this mission to say, instead of just telling this story, let's build the future for the Nashville Stars.
Are there still people who were related to those guys who played here in town?
Very much so. We know the 4 players and we know their families. And actually yesterday was one of the cooler moments since I've been in this job. But Sidney Bunch, who's photographed here in this photo here, his daughter and daughter-in-law and his 2 grandsons, Sidney the 4th, one of them, were in our office yesterday, and they brought boxes of more information. We found more photos than these 2 that we knew we had. There's a deep baseball history, a deep black baseball history here in town, and we think it's worthwhile to tell that story.
So do you know at this point where a stadium might be built if needed?
That's really our job right now, is to pave the way for Major League Baseball to come here, and there are a few big things that we need to figure out. One of them being is, where do you build a future venue? And I intentionally say venue and not stadium or ballpark, because we think it will be used far more than just the 81 nights a year that you're playing home games. So we're working with Lincoln Property Company. They're currently working with the Cleveland Browns on their new development out there. It is their job and our job with them to identify the right location for that stadium.
What's the most likely outcome here if there were a team? Would it be an expansion team or a relocation?
Yeah, we are fully focused on expansion at this point. The commissioner in Major League Baseball has been very open about wanting to add 2 new franchises. The league has some things that they need to get through before we're talking about expansion or really moving in that direction. The collective bargaining agreement between the league and the Players Association expires at the end of this season, the end of 2026. So once they get through that, we really believe that expansion will be the hottest thing to talk about.
Thanks for listening to the Nashvillager podcast. We take this look at Nashville news every weekday. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. And tell a friend or give us a mention on your socials. It really helps get the word out. And of course, everything at WPLN News is listener supported. You can become a member at WPLN.org. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. Let's make this day a good one. And we'll catch back up tomorrow.